Guys, welcome back to the Lifted podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about being a high business owner. Basically, I posted on my Instagram a couple days ago. Well, I was actually writing up a post and I was going to talk about just being in the, what would you even say? I don't want to say cannabis. I kind of want to just call it weed. Like, let's be honest. In the weed space on social media, on just in business, and just like in general, being a stoner and like smoking weed has such a stereotype, I guess. And I feel like I want to talk about it. Like, honestly, you know what's annoying is that when you're on social media, I've been in the social media space for like a while, you guys. Okay. I've been in the weed social media space, I guess you can call it, for, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half. I didn't really open up about it until like a year and a half ago when I started my business, Lifted Lifting. And guys, the amount of posts that I've had taken down just because like I smoked something or I even said the word stoner. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are we taking these posts down, first of all? Because, okay, here's another thing is like when you're on social media, you see people posting like them drunk out of their mind. They're like plastered. They're taking another shot. They're having another beer. They're shotgunning beers. And I am like, what's the fucking difference, you guys? What's the actual difference? Like, I think there's so much I don't even know what to say. People have their minds made up about weed, and it's kind of annoying because, like, alcohol is so toxic, and you have these people getting so drunk. And, like, if I'm being honest, like, I've never fought someone or even thought about like fighting someone when I've been high. But, like, if I'm drunk, like, I get kind of sassy. Not that I fight someone, but we've all done stupid shit when we're drunk, you know? Whereas when I'm high, the worst I'm gonna do is like not answer your text or like, I don't know, sit on the couch for a while, you know? And even then, I'm just not that type of stoner. Like, I mean, I run a business, you guys. Like, I don't know. So, anyway, social media and weed has been just like a bit of a journey to understand what I'm posting, like how I can even post. Like, sometimes you're like, okay, can I actually post this reel that, maybe I just ate an edible or something? And even this podcast, I'm going to cut up this podcast, you guys, and like the odds of one of these getting taken down or like, you know, it's kind of iffy on social media, which I understand. I do understand that whole thing. I just don't understand the difference between, celebrities being like promoting their tequila and promoting their drink and whatever. And it's like, not that I'm even promoting any kind of like use. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. But I do feel like people almost think that I'm doing that. And it's like, I'm not, first of all. And second, you have these, like, I mean, I would rather be just getting high and like chilling and whatever. I don't want to promote any sort of alcohol. Like, not that I have anything against alcohol actually at all. I just don't see like the fairness in social media. Anyways, I talk a lot about social media. Let's actually go back to when I started talking about weed on any of my platforms. I started talking about it on TikTok first. And so when I started talking about it on TikTok, you guys, all my OG girls will actually understand this. So when I started on TikTok, I was a little bit, I don't even know. Like, I was kind of just really fucking high, like all the time. Not that I'm not anymore, but when I was on TikTok, I would let my like high self kind of come out a little bit more, and all my OG girls will actually understand this and they'll actually like remember that part. I was like giggling every second like word. Like, it was really fucking funny, okay? Like my shit was funny. But I felt like people perceived that as being actually like someone actually said like, is this girl slow? And I feel like that really hit me because I was like, Key, people don't understand that like I'm using this as like marketing for myself. Like I was pushing this like, oh, I get high before the gym because yo, there's so much fucking so like it like fitness stuff all the time. You guys are seeing so much fitness content all the time that us coaches, we actually have to be different. Like we have to like pick something about us that's like different than the next coach because and for myself it was just my personality. I was like I'm just going to put myself out there, put my personality into it, but I honestly felt like people perceived me as like slower and like I understand that you can't listen to everything that people say online, but at the same time, like, I really feel like I was just using it to my advantage and being like, I'm going to market myself as this, like, stoner girl going to the gym. And the reason that I did that was because it's my actual fucking life. And I'm like, if I'm going to be out there and be on social media as much as I am, which I know you guys know that I run like all the pages and stuff and I'm on like all of them. And I was like, if I actually want to be out there all the time, like I would rather put myself, like my actual fucking self. Like some of these influencers are completely fake and I know that you guys know that a lot of you guys unfollow them because they just fake their entire life. And it's like, that's great, but like, that isn't completely draining to me. I need to be real and like genuine and my actual fucking self online. Otherwise, it gets draining, you guys. You get so drained and so just burnt out if you're just faking your entire life. But when I decided to like just share all of this and be like, okay, now I'm this, stoner girl that goes to the gym, stoner gym rat, whatever. Obviously, my business started growing. And now that I've been in this business space for like a while, just with also like being completely open about being a stoner, I do have people hesitate to like work with me. Like I've had people, sometimes it's the first thing that comes out of people's mouths when you talk to them. They're like, oh, so are you high right now? And it's like, I get that I post a lot about that because you guys are my audience. Like you guys know I'm high all the time. You guys want to see that shit. Like that's my fucking audience. But when you're going into like business settings and like business meetings and whatever, like I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, people almost look at you different. And I know that everyone listening to this podcast, if you are a stoner, like you'll understand this. And even if you're not a fucking stoner, you've probably looked at someone that way. Because I used to fucking do that, you guys. Like when I was in high school and I'd hear about stoners and stuff, or when I was even in university and stuff, I'm like, oh, they're just lazy. They don't do anything. They're just, you know, they don't have the drive. They don't have whatever. They're just lazy stoners. They're just going to eat all day. But realistically, like the amount of people now that are using cannabis to just like chill the fuck out or just, help their anxiety. People use it for MS. Did you guys know that? That's crazy. Like it actually helps people with MS. And here's what I don't love is I don't want to be this person I don't want to fucking educate you guys on cannabis, to be honest. I don't want my business to go that route. I don't fucking care, to be honest. If you want to use cannabis, if you want to smoke weed, if you want to go to the gym, go ahead. Like I'm more in the fitness space than I am in the weed space. However, because I've marketed myself this way and because I am really fucking open about smoking weed all the time, having gummies, whatever, I do feel like there's a lot of people that have viewed me different in the business space. And I'm actually just excited to prove everyone wrong. Like I'm excited to like make this business as big as I fucking can and just like actually be that person. Like I've had a lot of girls come to me, and especially when I was starting out, people were like, you're making me feel comfortable about being a stoner and like actually getting healthy and like actually going to the gym. And like, that's what I fucking care about. And that's what I really want to do is like, I'm not trying to influence, your gym rats and your fitness people and your personal train. Like, I feel like we all know who I'm talking about. The people that have been in the gym already, they're kind of seasoned vets, whatever. They're just chilling in the gym, okay? All the time, 7 days a week, all the time. I am not trying to get those people to smoke weed. I'm like, do whatever you want. Like, if you don't want to smoke, that's totally cool. But the stoners, like the people that are just stoned all the time, like you wake up and you have a bong and you go through your work day and whatever, those people that aren't in the gym already and they're just getting stoned all the time, I want to make them feel comfortable being healthy and like getting into the gym and kind of just mixing the two worlds together. And it's like there's so many stoners that are like, oh, I never thought to go to the gym stoned. And now we're all stoned in the gym. Not all of us, just some of us. And it's great. It's a great time, you guys. Like if you haven't done it, try it, don't try it. I don't really care. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to live my life and share it online. But also, I feel like people smoke for like so many different reasons. Like, here's the thing is like, I can hear people. I feel like even you can kind of tell the types of people that would totally judge you. Oh my God, I actually have to tell you guys this story. So funny. So, okay, I've been a personal trainer for a while, okay? And I've been in this building, like where I live, for a while. And when I went downstairs, so they give us free coffee in our building, which is fucking bomb. You know how much money I've saved on coffee from just getting free coffee? Amazing. And so I'm downstairs getting coffee, and I know a couple of the people in the building, okay? So I'm like chatting with them, whatever. And this other girl comes up and she's like, oh, like, who are you and whatever. And she like introduced herself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm pretty friendly. So like, we're just chatting. And then she's like, what do you do? Like, what do you do for work? And I was like, oh, I'm just like this personal trainer and blah, 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 like online trainer. I don't really tell people, to be honest. Like, if you know me already, you know. If not, whatever, okay? I'm not just going to be like, oh my God, I train stoner girls. No, I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, I'm just an online trainer. And then she's like, what's your Instagram? And I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know if I really want to give that out. But I gave it to her because I don't know, I just did. And honestly, like, okay, so this girl is, what would you say, probably in her 40s? Maybe? I'm not sure. 30s, 40s kind of vibe. She just, she gave off, and she knows this. She knows me really well, actually. And she gave off this vibe that she was one of those people that, like, just wouldn't really vibe with my business. Like the older generations aren't huge into weed, okay? So I was like, fuck, like this girl is gonna judge me so hard. She's gonna like probably tell people in the building. She probably knows a lot of people. She was really fucking friendly. So like, she's probably got a lot of friends. Guys, she signed up to my training. I was like, oh my God. Like now I look like the bad person being like, oh my God, she's gonna judge me so hard, which I don't know if she did. But either way, I thought that was so cool. And like, I don't know if it's just me feeling this way or like feeling like I'm perceived this way. But if I'm being honest, like I can almost tell people's energy when I come into the room sometimes because people just always think I'm like this high, like, you know, almost like this high, stupid stoner. Is basically like, if I'm being completely blunt, I feel like I've almost been treated that way sometimes. And for it to be the first thing that comes out of people's mouths, like, oh, you can't smoke or you can't like have any sort of cannabis involved or you can't do this. I do understand that like businesses are involved, but at the same time, for that to be like the first thing, like I know I'm known for it, but it's also kind of fucking annoying, you guys. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you another story. So, when I was working normal 9 to 5, I was a content writer, and I kid you not, almost every single lunchtime, like noon, 1 o'clock, whatever time it was, my boss would leave and go get wine with his friends or go to a business meeting and have like multiple glasses of wine. And I'm like, but I can't smoke? Like, what's the fucking difference, you guys? um, yeah, anyways, he would come back like tipsy and whatever, and I was just like, oh my God, like, shout out to all the girls that are using like their pens halfway through their workday because like, I mean, sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you're like, I just need to chill. Like, you know what it really helps me with? It helps me, okay, I own lifted lifting, whatever. There's a lot of different parts to lifted lifting. So there's a podcast, YouTube channel. There's like, oh my God, guys, there's like so many social media pages. You know how many social media pages we have? It's crazy. If you guys actually look into it, I should link them all in the description because there's like a lot. There's like 4 social medias. Or 4 Instagrams, Facebook page, Facebook group, which hit 40K, which is super cool. What else? There's the app. So we launched an app. Like there is so many moving parts to Lifted. So for myself, when I'm working on it, oh, and the clothing, you guys, we also have clothing. If you didn't know that, you should go buy some leggings. They're fucking bomb. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. But guys, there's so many fucking moving parts. So when I can smoke and focus on one task and it like helps me not think about like everything else that we're supposed to be doing, I am like, this is like, it reminds me of, the flow state. Have you guys heard of that? Okay, flow state is when you're doing a task for like a certain amount of time and you have not been interrupted. And like when I smoke and then I do a certain task, I feel like I go into that. And it's actually good for your mental health. So if you're someone that like thinks a lot and you like can't focus on like one single task, or have a lot going on, I high key feel like that's ADHD. But I've never been diagnosed and I don't really care either way. But maybe it is ADHD. I have zero idea. But if it helps you to focus on one thing and like not think about the million other things you're supposed to do, or at the gym, like for me, the reason that I smoke before the gym is it completely takes out like everyone in the gym. So when you're, I don't know, say you're doing fucking RDLs or something and you're not focusing on your glutes, you're not going to feel your glutes. Like I've said this in all my YouTube videos, all my TikToks, you have to have mind to muscle connection. And if you honestly don't have mind to muscle connection, you guys, like your muscles aren't going to grow the same way. So for myself, if I'm thinking about a billion other things while I'm trying to grow my fucking glutes, I will not grow my glutes because I will be using every other muscle and I won't even be focused on what I'm actually doing. And for a while, I used to use alcohol to like do that for me. But if I'm being honest, like for all the people that have smoked and all the people that have drank and all the almost like functional stoners, like I'm asking the functional stoners here, it's like a completely different feel. Like I can actually smoke, clean the whole house. I could finish all my tasks. I could do all my editing. Plus it helps me be more creative when I'm like editing. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just like the feel of like what you're doing and like the feel of when you smoke and then, you have your music going and like you're making a reel and everything just fits together. It's like, oh, it's so satisfying. I also use it to like completely wind down. So say it's like the evening and I don't know, maybe it's like 8 o'clock or something. and I'm like, fuck, like I'm still thinking about everything I need to do. I have a huge to-do list tomorrow and whatever. It's like just smoke and it helps you chill a little bit. It's almost like having a glass of wine. You're just like, okay, now I can wind down. Now I don't have to be so like, serious. You know, when your shoulders go up when you're stressed, it's like it almost like lets your shoulders down and you can just like breathe, you can chill. It also helps in the bedroom. Like, honestly, if you guys, okay, here's something that I feel like just needs to be talked about a little bit more. Girls think a lot before they have sex, or even when they're having sex. They think about everything, like every single detail. I feel like everyone listening to this will be like, fuck yeah, I do. Because we do. We think about every detail. First of all, we're really hard on ourselves. So when we're, getting spicy and whatever, if we're not confident, like, you are overthinking everything. You're like, oh my God, do my fucking eyebrows look okay? Like, we're so stupid. You guys, we're so dumb. But we overthink that shit. And like, if you want to actually get off when you're like in the bedroom, you have to chill. Like it's almost like the secret. Like you just have to chill out and like not think about stuff and not think about anything, not think about the work you're supposed to do, not think about like your hairy legs, not think about like whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, maybe you just ate too much and whatever, we're just insecure about everything, okay? It helps that. It literally helps you like forget about all of that. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys listened to the sex podcast. It was really fucking good. So if you haven't, go back and watch it, listen, whatever. But yeah, anyways, okay, so I also wanted to express that like people always think I'm like super fucking high all the time. Like just fucked. Like which I'm not, first of all. So not all the time. Sometimes I am. But like I gauge it with how I'm feeling and like where I'm at. So like say it's the week before my period and I'm super fucking emotional or something, I'm probably going to have a few more edibles, or I'm probably going to have like a couple more joints. I'm probably going to be fucking blasted all day because realistically, people use different things for mental health. And like, not that I am not saying anyone should use anything like for feeling better, but if it works, it works. Like, people use a glass of wine to just wind down at night, or like, if you're really stressed, there's so many different things that people use. And like, if it works for you, fucking do it. Like, honestly, this is funny. So on one of the lifted trips, actually, I hope she listens to this podcast. I'm not going to call her out, but she was like, she has period cramps. Well, I mean, who fucking doesn't? Mine aren't that bad, but I'm using this if they ever get that bad. So one of the girls on the lifted trip, she was like, guys, if you have period cramps, there's like CBD capsules that you can actually like put up your vagina. And apparently they work. So I've never tried them. I would like to try them, but I don't get really bad cramps. But you guys know that if I get really bad cramps sometime, I will literally put a pill up my vagina. I don't care. I don't care because I'm not dealing with that. Why do we have to go through that? I don't want to. So I will do that. I will 100% do that. And honestly, like, if it's going to work, why would you not do it? But anyways, okay, so I feel like I just really like the vibe of not having a boss and not having to have someone actually tell me what to fucking do. Like, I can actually just sit here in my house. I work from home. I can work from fucking anywhere, which is crazy. And my business is doing well. I'm high all the fucking time, whenever I want to be. I can be high whenever I want to be. But it's also really cool to just be able to do that. like, not a lot of people can say that they do that. And if I'm being honest, like, I'm doing so many things that I don't even feel bad if I get high. Like, think about the amount of things that we're doing with Lifted: podcast, app, clothing, just everything that I named before. And it's like, why do people even question it? You know? I feel like I'd love to hear just like more stories about like people in business and actually like still using cannabis, because I feel like there's so many people in different businesses. I actually watched this one girl's reel too, and she was talking about like how, oh, this is how like people are perceived when they're like stoners, and it's like her eating snacks and her like slacking off on her work and whatever. And realistically, she's not. Like, then she does another one and she's like, what I'm actually like, super businessy. She's like, she's like suit and tie kind of vibe. And I'm like, well, I'm not quite there. Like, I'm in a fucking sweat vibe right now. But I don't want to be that person. Like, here's the thing with having a business and being able to like basically do what I want is I can dress how I want. And like I can actually be that like comfy, cozy stoner, but at the same time get shit done. Like all my stuff gets done on time. I'm honestly fucking thriving. If I'm being honest, like I am thriving, you guys. And it's really annoying to be like, okay, I'm almost on time more than most people. Like, usually on time, usually always there, but people have this perception. And if I'm being completely honest, I feel like this perception came from like my other content. And I actually hate that I had to like low key change my content a little bit for people to treat me different. It's not that I absolutely had to, but like people actually like, it's kind of difficult, and I kind of go back and forth. Like if I'm if I'm just like being completely open with you guys, I go back and forth between like, okay, because everyone fucking cares what people think. Like I don't really care what you guys say, like, oh, I don't care what people think anymore and blah blah blah. We all kind of care. It's a part of human nature. Like we do care about what people think. And so even with some of my content, I'm sitting here being like, should I post this? Is this too stupid? Do I look stupid? Do I look a certain way? Do I look like that lazy stoner, which, yeah, I'm trying to come away from that vibe, but at the same time, like, sometimes I do just want to fucking smoke and chill. Who doesn't want to do that? Um, and then I've had other people where, they really vibe with it. Like my last assistant, she was so, okay, like dabs all day long, all fucking day long. Like she was such a fucking vibe. Loved her. I still love her. We still talk. And like dabs are fucking crazy, guys. I don't know if you've ever taken a dab. Crazy. Just all day. But like she was more businessy than I was. Like the way she talked, the way she just presented herself. And I was like, fuck off with this stupid stoner. Stoners are lazy and stoners can't do this and whatever. I was like, we slayed. I hope she watches this. I hope she listens to this. We honestly slayed, you guys. And I mean, we still are, both of us. We just parted ways. But like, don't tell me that stoners can't take over the world, because we fucking can. And we will. Let's do it, Lifted Gang. um Anyways, I feel like I want to hear if you guys have any stories about you just smoking and how it's affected you, like different business stories. If you guys are in business, I know there's a whole podcast on girls in the cannabis space, but also being business owners. Yeah, tell me your stories. Feel free to message me because we're kind of in this together. I just want to I want Lifted to thrive, and I also want to thrive, and I'm going to do what I need to do for me and my mental health and whatever the fuck I want to do. If I want to get high all day and run this fucking business, that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, keep slaying, you guys. I'm going to go. Subscribe, like, comment, share this podcast with your friend, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.